Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Hey Corner Crew podcast. I am your host, JJ Lang. With me, as always, are my two wonderful co-hosts, Nate the Little Guten Foss and
What's up?
RAT. I'm not done with the intro yet, Nate. What the hell?
Usually you give me a chance to say something
Okay,
and
I
I
said
don't.
co-hosts, so you gotta wait till
Oh,
after I'm done talking.
okay. Okay,
And
fine.
after Nate, the interrupting little goon, we have we have Dan the Statman Scully has returned also.
That's a face-off warning, Nate.
Shut up.
Oh my god.
Okay, for real though, like enough with the face-off violation.
I'm
Like,
so tired
enough.
of them.
Atlantic hockey officials just drop the puck. I'm sick of it. Craig, I'm looking at you. At women's games, just drop the puck.
Craig, we know you listen
None
to
of
this
this-
also, so you better be listening to us.
I know he does.
So,
We love you, Craig.
we do love Craig. So, we had 4 games this weekend. Not all of them, unfortunately, went the way we would have hoped, but there were good and there was bad. So we are going to start with the 2 games that the women played in, and then we're going to transition to the men at the end. So I will let Dan start talking about the ladies' 2 games this weekend.
Not the best weekend we've ever had. Went out to Troy to face an RPI team that was 0-6, and now they're 2-6. And we haven't scored a goal in the last 4 games.
I'm good.
It almost makes me feel like the 17 we scored was kind of like emptying the tank, and now there's not. There was nothing left save for these last 2 weekends.
Well, Colgate, the results didn't really surprise any of us.
Well, let's put it this way. Colgate was kind of like this psychotically good team that we kind of figured was going to just wipe the floor with us because of how high and how good they are. I figured these 2 games this past weekend were going to be much more competitive than they were.
Yep, I think that goes for all 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, it's not that Saturday wasn't competitive, but Friday, I don't really have much to say on it. Friday, for sure.
Neither do I.
Emma looked good.
Yeah, she did.
She always looks good. Sarah looked good Saturday. She always looks good Saturday. And every game they play. Megan McCormick had 9 blocks on the weekend.
It's pretty good.
And it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
we had
if you have 9
35
blocks... Sorry, go ahead.
35 as a team. I don't know.
On one hand, that's impressive. On another,
that's a lot of shots on goal.
We shouldn't be having to block that many shots in a weekend.
Especially against that team.
We played a lot of defense on Friday and Saturday, which shocked me.
0 for 4 on the power play Friday, too. If you want to find a story of the game.
Those opportunities
and we took 5 penalties.
Mm-hmm. Didn't RPI score on a shorty also, or no? I thought I saw that.
Did they?
I missed the Friday game, but I watched the Saturday game. Okay, that's good at least.
Unless it was Saturday. Yeah.
No, they didn't score one either.
No. RPI got a power play goal Saturday. Saturday, 3 goals in the second period.
Yeah, that's...
Second period was the...
Friday, 2 goals in the second period. Every goal we gave up was in the second this weekend.
Oh, that's even better. Okay, so if we don't count the second period from either game, it was 2-0-0 ties. Oh, wait, that's not how that works. And I think it's frustrating for the 3 of us too, because like we want to talk about positives,
but there just wasn't any.
And like what we said, they're just.
But none of the 3 of us are going to sugarcoat it either.
No.
Nope.
No,
I like to say I am a very, very big, positive person when it comes to RIT hockey. I like to be, what's the opposite of negative Nelly? I don't even know. Positive Pete. I don't know. We can call me that now. I don't care. Just
Positive Pete.
what?
What are you, a grandma saying that?
Hey, sometimes, made everybody laugh. We weren't laughing 30 seconds ago.
That's fair.
Yeah, tough weekend. I'm going to be honest. On this podcast, I said it from day one, and it wasn't good enough. It's almost like the team that we saw, and I feel like we said this last weekend too, the team we saw play UConn and Vermont, and the team that looked almost flawless against St. Michael's. Now, different level of competition,
Absolutely.
but still, where were they the last 2 weeks? Like Dan said, Colgate, all right. I can take that with a grain of salt, but this one,
Yeah.
Well, and you almost
tough.
wonder, with all 5 goals we gave up this weekend coming in the second, if it's got something to do with the long change.
That's true. Could be that.
Yeah. I mean, RPI, their benches are kind of weird. I mean, they're similar to GPC, but at GPC, the visiting bench is somewhat kind of all in the neutral zone versus RPI, half our bench is in the zone. Because RPI's bench is on the other side of the ice, halfway in the zone. So they make it more even at RPI. I don't know. I think at this level, the long change shouldn't be something that affects you too much.
Goals.
Yeah. Right. Well, and here's RPI has a long change too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Lots to work on this in a short week too. That's the worst part because they play Thursday.
Yeah.
So lots to work on for Coach Brown and the staff, for sure. Still early in the year. Again, we've said it all season long. Conference games are the only things that matter in this league. So
Yeah.
You know what? Conference play starts up this weekend. Wipe the records. The records don't matter. The non-conference records don't matter anymore.
Yep. Speaking of conference play, why don't we start talking about Syracuse and looking at this upcoming weekend, because we got some fun stuff coming up.
If you haven't looked in the announcements channel in Discord, go do it. I'm putting something up again tomorrow. We're going.
Thursday night,
6 o'clock from the Tennessee Ice Pavilion.
Which now has a new scoreboard.
Which
Yes.
Nate is oh so mad about because he loves making fun of that ugly scoreboard. And now we can't
I
anymore.
was so ready to tear. I was going to make fun of the scoreboard, and now I can't. That's still one of my favorite stories. Dan.
It's the best.
The one game I've ever stood next to Dan with at a game. I was making fun of the scoreboard the whole time.
So good.
And just randomly in the middle of the third period at 5-1 RAT, he goes, I kind of like that scoreboard now. I was like,
It's
yep.
a great moment.
Looks pretty good.
So let's look at Syracuse a little bit here. What are we going up against Thursday, and what are we going up against on Saturday?
Not the
Syracuse.
team that won the CHA last year.
No, they are
Oh.
much different. Their only consistent is Ariel DeSmet, and she's kind of been, I don't even want to say carrying them, but they're very much leaning on her a lot to try and get them wins.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Ariel, our good friend, the brick wall from Syracuse,
Via
914
RMU.
save
The
Yeah,
RMU.
via RMU. So not only did we have to deal with her at Cuse, we had to deal with This is her 5th year, and
We've dealt with her for 5 whole years in conference play.
let's be honest, she has our number. She does.
Yeah.
So far this year, she's 4th in the country in saves with 255,
That's kind of insane.
which I don't know if you want that record, but hey,
She's got it.
she's got a 914 save percentage and a 2.67 goals against. She has played every game for Syracuse, every minute of every game this year. They're 1-7-1. They've actually lost 6 out of their last 7. And that 7th was a tie.
Including 3 straight against Clarkson.
Which is brutal.
They've had a tough schedule to start. I mean,
Clarkson,
They were-
games against Clarkson's got a really good team.
3 games against Clarkson, at Colgate, at Merrimack, a home and home with St. Lawrence, 3 against Clarkson, and then holy loss. They tied 3-3. They finished in third up in the women's icebreaker in Lake Placid. So,
Yep. So Merrimack's their only win, and they put up 3 straight goals to win that game in overtime to start the season, actually. And then, like you said, that
they
tie
lost 6
just
in a
came
row.
just
That's a
came
lot.
this weekend in the third place game of the icebreaker. They won the shootout to take third place.
Who ended up winning that, by the way?
I would have
Assuming
to guess
Clarkson.
I think Clarkson did. I don't see those games, but I think I saw Clarkson won.
Let's see. Yeah, Clarkson beat Syracuse 3-0, and then St. Lawrence 3-1.
Not bad. Yeah. So Lauren Belafontaine, sorry. 2 goals for 6 points. She actually scored the game winner at Merrimack for their only win. Not anything that jumps off the page. It's still early in the year up and down the lineup, but we are 0-9-1 in our last 10 against Syracuse.
But I will say, a lot of those games were very close. Like the semifinal game in the playoffs, the semifinal playoff game went to OT.
We lost in overtime twice last year, including the game in the playoffs.
Yes, they had our number, but they didn't destroy us. They were very close, and the fact that their skill level has significantly dipped since then, I don't want to say we're assuming, but they have not played very well so far this year.
I think they've still got the scorers they had last year.
They definitely still do.
Like they've still got
besides what's her face,
Sarah Marchand.
Yeah, Marchand's still there.
What's her face? Yeah, see, we can't even remember her name. We can't even remember
on the spot now. She plays with Simsy now.
Yeah, she does play with Simsy. What was her name?
I'll find it.
Oh my God.
Find it. Dan, keep going. I'll find it.
Just start vamping.
But they lost easily their best defender, Jessica DiGirolamo, and I wonder, looking at the save totals for DeSmet and
Abby Malotny.
I knew there was an M in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder with the games that I have watched from them and the shot totals that DeSmet's having to deal with, if the defense is what's really lacking for the Orange this year.
Which I would say is an advantage for us, because I think our defense, give or take, the games against the ranked teams, I think our defense has been pretty solid this year.
I would agree with that.
So far,
I very much agree with that.
You don't block 35 shots again with bad defense.
No.
Even if you're giving up way more than you'd like.
And I will say this, Syracuse averages 8 minutes of penalties a game. So I think the key to this series is definitely special teams.
You got to
You have to take advantage of your power plays. They're going to give them to you, and I think it's more because I think Syracuse, they've always been an aggressive team. Mm-hmm. Now, new coach this year, new systems. So, really, this is a kind of a Syracuse team we don't really know much about.
They have a new identity now.
Yeah, exactly. So, who knows? But they've always been as physical as you can be in women's hockey. There's still physicality. They're a fast, physical team. They can score. They can put up 7 on you easily.
Mm-hmm. They did it to us last year at GTC.
They did. I would remember that one,
including the first goal off a penalty shot, Rayla Clemens. Don't like that I remember that.
Because you had to put it in the stat system.
I didn't even think about that part, but you're right.
Yeah.
we'll get to a story like that when we get to the men's stuff.
Yeah. I guess last thing on this before we go around the league. They got to be better.
Yeah. Got
to be better than you were the last 2 weekends. These games matter. I think they will have a little bit of jump in their step coming in this game. One, it's first, you want to get off on a good note in conference play.
Yeah.
Because it matters, especially this year, because if you finish in last, you're done. You're not making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So every game counts now. Every point that you can get out of any game that you can squeeze the juice out of. Yes, that was an orange pun.
Get out. That's 10 minutes. If Petrucci got 10 minutes on Thursday,
Technical.
that's 10 minutes.
Technical.
You got to get points. And it's the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year, so everybody coming back is going to be a little pissed off. I know I am. I'm going in there with a vengeance.
I'm going in there with a smile on my face, but it's my favorite series of the year, so...
Shut up, Cuse boy.
Hey, I'm already wallowing in tears over the loss to Clemson.
Hey,
Ooh.
just remember where your loyalties lie this weekend.
Are you saying the Tigers are going to win just like they did on Saturday?
What?
Oof. Yikes.
The Clemson Tigers.
That went way over my head.
It's only the most common nickname in college sports, but...
Hey, but we do it the best, so...
Can I go on a quick before we go for our predictions? Can we quick? Can we address the Buffalo One whatever YouTube channel that accidentally put the Buffalo Plus that accidentally put our logo instead of the Bengals for the Buffalo Bills future opponents?
Wait, you didn't Photoshop that?
That's
name?
real.
No,
that's real.
No, I did not Photoshop that.
That's not Photoshop. That's very real.
I'm finding it. Hang on. I'm going to find it. 100%.
Very real.
I'm going on my YouTube right now.
That's very... Dan, he sent the link to it in Discord.
No, I just sent the screenshot.
Yeah.
It's a very, very...
Look.
Someone's getting fired for that. I'm sorry.
I didn't Photoshop it. I promise. I'm not.
So good.
Look, I'm just the hockey guy on this podcast. I'm not the techie person.
Nate is not good with Photoshop at all.
I can barely use my cell phone. Let alone,
that's a good point.
Let alone Photoshop.
So let's go.
Yeah, I should know better than that.
So let's do our predictions, and then we'll go around the league real quick before we go to the men's side. Dan, we'll start with you, then go to Nate, and we'll end with me.
I think we're going to split. I have a bad feeling that we're going to split and we're going to take the game at Syracuse and then lose on Saturday.
Okay.
I am of like mindset. Dan and I just think the same way when it comes to the women. I agree. I think they're going to come out firing on Thursday, and I think they will. I think we're in for two good, entertaining hockey games.
Oh, for sure.
I think this is a Syracuse team that, like you said, isn't as high potent offensively as they were last year and in years past. And this is a Tiger team that's better. I think they're going to come in again pissed off, not only because of last year, but the last 2 weekends. They're trying to right the ship. Like I said, you got to get off to a good start in conference play. So you got to get the train rolling back down the tracks, right, to a CHA championship. I'm not bringing that up yet.
You just did.
Too late.
So I did, but I'm done. I'm ending it there.
I'm gonna say we win. I'm gonna agree with Dan. I'm gonna agree that we win Thursday at Syracuse. I think we win a close one. I think it's gonna be like 3-2, 4-3, something like that. And then my gut's telling me it's gonna end in a tie on Saturday at GPC. But that we win in a shootout or something. Like I like that. I don't think we're gonna straight up win on Saturday at GPC, but I think we're gonna keep it close enough to go to overtime and win in a shootout. I think that's what's gonna happen.
And does the CHA add shootouts this year?
I think so.
Pretty sure we have them. I mean,
I don't know why they would go. Why would they go to 3-on-3 and not add the shootout?
It doesn't make sense. They would do that
because it's conference policy whether or not to use the shootout. It's NCAA policy to use 3-on-3.
CHA is weird.
That's a good point. Shut up, Dan. CHA and Atlantic Hockey are the same thing, though. So like, I don't know why you would have different rules.
Who knows?
But they were different last year.
He's got a point. Damn. They were different.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. So JJ's prediction: change it, fix it.
To what?
There's no shootout.
Just say it's a tie.
So it goes to a tie and we win in overtime. Like I still think we're gonna win
ties.
Listen, I hate ties also, but it's better than losing.
You also can't say it's a tie and we win in overtime because then it's not a tie.
Yeah,
we're not doing the screwy
it's
overtime.
All right,
thing
we'll just say it's a tie then. We'll
that
go from there. The double overtime.
Also, speaking of Saturday,
yes,
the women's game is actually the second game of the doubleheader at GPC.
God, I'm so glad for that.
So please, 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 if you are going to the men's game, please stick around. The
food trucks.
The ladies. We'll talk about that off air.
No, that's a thing. That's confirmed.
I know. Yeah, food trucks. Woohoo! Leave the building.
Okay.
Or don't leave the building.
Or just get your food trucks and go back inside. Like that's. You do that too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also,
we'll talk about.
Quick thing about Saturday, it is the Halloween game. You are allowed to wear costumes, but we have been told do not wear masks inside. RIT does not want anyone wearing masks inside Policini at all for both games. So just, if you want to dress up like somebody that doesn't have a mask. We'll just say it that way.
And most importantly, the women, they are honoring the 2012 Women's National Championship team.
Correct.
It's the 10-year anniversary, so they wanted to do it last year, but COVID kind of screwed all that up.
Yeah.
This year, it's full systems go. So hopefully it'll be nice to see a lot of the ladies back in town.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
And the ones from the 2012 team aren't going to be the only alumni in attendance. I have that on good authority too.
Oh yes, hype. Oh, Nate's frozen. The look of shock right now is actually pretty funny. Oof to Nate.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Your face was frozen for like a good 30 seconds.
Could you hear me?
No.
I wasn't saying anything because you guys froze. I was about to say something. Anyway, I guess I can stay in there. That's good entertainment.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I'll get chirped for it in the Discord. That's okay.
That's fine. We all get chirped for everything we say in the Discord whenever we
I
post
chirp you for literally everything you say. So
yeah, that's fair. I just take it like a champ. Looking around the league, what do we got?
The other two games on Friday were Cornell beat Mercyhurst 3-0 in Ithaca. Syracuse, like we talked about, lost the first leg of the icebreaker 3-0 to Clarkson.
Big oof. Nobody scored that night.
Not good.
Wow.
Great showing from CHA.
See, the leagues are the exact same. Nobody wins non-conference.
Maybe they shouldn't be the same front office anymore.
It's probably a good thing.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Oh no, I've set Nate off. He's gonna rant now.
No, we're good.
Syracuse, again, as we said, tied 3-3 with Holy Cross in the third place game of the icebreaker. Syracuse won that third place in a shootout.
Unofficial shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, just for the sake of...
For the sake of figuring out who finished in third.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cornell beat Mercyhurst even worse, but at least Mercyhurst scored 7-2.
Oh.
Penn State's got their weird series going on. They beat Franklin Pierce today 6-0. And they'll play them again tomorrow at 2 in the afternoon.
Again, whoever's scheduling these games needs to just get fired. There's just stupid times for games.
I asked my friend who goes to Penn State why that game's on a Monday. He said there is no reason at all for it to be on a Monday. And especially at 2 o'clock, like, hey, anybody want a free hockey game tomorrow?
Sorry, I have class.
You guys want to go to Penn State tomorrow?
No, I'm good.
No, I actually have class.
So do I. And then I got work afterwards.
I have to work. It's okay.
Go ahead. Is there more?
Next week, we're the first game on Thursday, 6 o'clock at Kennedy. Please make the drive out. It's not that far.
It's like an hour tops.
Hour and a half.
Whatever. If you're going fast enough, it's an hour tops.
JJ, you and I will get there in an hour.
Yep.
I can't wait for you guys to have careened off of the 81 viaduct in downtown Syracuse.
Dan, I totally
95 on the
forgot how
thruway.
bad. I totally forgot how bad Syracuse highways were, and then I remembered on Saturday it was horrible.
If you've never driven through there, you wouldn't know what was going on. And you see it every time you're driving through there. You see somebody, you can tell they have no idea where they're going.
The 690-81 interchange is horrible.
Oh, it's bad.
It is a
Anyway,
Yes, the rest of the upcoming games before we move on.
Penn State makes a trip out to Maryland Heights, Missouri, basically St. Louis, to play Lindenwood on Friday night. They wrap up that series Saturday. We wrap up our home and home with Syracuse on Saturday. And that's it for the league week.
Weird.
Not much going on. But that's what happens when conference play starts and you've
conference
only got
play.
5 teams in the conference.
Yeah.
And like we said, it's a big weekend to get off on the right foot.
Oh, yeah. You got to take at least one against Syracuse. You have to take at least one.
And we need Penn, because let's be honest, it's going to be us and Lindenwood fighting for that last spot. Just looking at all the other teams in the league.
Yeah.
So you got to hope Penn State goes in there and takes. Is CHA on the 3-point system, Dan? I can't remember.
I don't think it is.
You got to hope Penn State gets 4 points because and we got to get at least 2 to start off on the right foot.
Yeah, no, they're still on the 2-point system. At least they were last year, and I haven't heard about anything changing. Oh, yep, it's literally right at the bottom. I can't read. 2 points for a regulation or an overtime win, 1 point for an overtime tie. That's redundant. If it's a tie, it had to have gone to overtime.
All right, so now flipping our attention to the men's side of things. The men's hockey team had a 2-game series against Air Force this weekend, all the way over in Denver because this AHA hates us.
I didn't have the heart to correct you last weekend. Air Force isn't in Denver.
Oh, where are they then?
Springs.
It's in Colorado Springs.
They're close enough to Denver. Who cares?
No, it's like 2 hours away,
It's
dude.
genuinely Denver. I really don't care where they are. They're over in Colorado. Whatever.
Sorry if we're offending any Coloradians. If that's what.
Coloradians.
I think that's what they're called.
Listen, people in Colorado. All you have to know is that the Broncos suck. So we're moving on.
The Denver Broncos, not the Boise State Broncos.
Flex.
Is Boise State going to become like our second favorite team here because of Dan Scully's T-shirt?
Yes.
Love
They
it.
beat Air Force.
They did. So did we.
It would have been great if you threw that in the weekend recap of Atlantic hockey.
Oh, that would have been so fun. That would have been so funny. I would have died.
Oh well.
All right, so we had 2 games against Air Force this weekend, one on Thursday and one on Friday because weird.
Because football.
Stupid football.
Stupid college.
I say
football
this
that
as I'm
makes
decked
millions
head to
of
toe in
dollars
Raiders
for
gear,
every
which,
school.
by the way, shout out to Kobe Matthews and Ryan Nicholson. Our Raiders won today. Hype. So I will let Nate take over and start rolling with the stuff from those 2 games. We'll start with Friday. Oh, sorry, we'll start with Thursday, then we'll talk about Friday.
Honestly, JJ, I wrote down Friday, Saturday in my notes, just not even thinking. So you're not the only one.
We're so used to Friday, Saturday.
On Thursday night, if you weren't in the Discord, we had a great time.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Just we were streaming the game in the Discord. We had a great time. Man, my Wi-Fi is having trouble today.
You're
All
good.
right,
Just keep going.
you can hear me. Okay.
I gotcha.
All right. Thursday night, tough 3-2 loss to Air Force. In a game where we outshot them 31-20. In a game I thought that we definitely could have won.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In a game where we were gifted basically 2 new leases on life in the last minute.
Yeah. So I was gonna save that, but we can get into it. If you weren't watching the game, I don't know why you weren't. In the last minute, the Air Force defender covered the puck up in the crease with his hand, which is a penalty shot.
Pretty bad.
But nobody saw it. So they played for another 55, 56. There was 2 seconds left on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And Wayne Wilson, with the savagery of challenging it, and with no timeout, might we add, because he already lost a challenge earlier in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you have to lose? There's 2 seconds left. You're down by a goal. I mean, why not?
You need it.
And so Carter Wilkie gets a penalty shot. I mean, shout out to Guy Blessing, made a great save.
I will say, when I watched that,
he was nails all night Friday or Thursday. Oh, see, There we go. One. He was nails. He was money. He played out of his mind. I thought he was the reason Air Force won that game.
Can I say
he made some big saves?
Can I say Carter's penalty shot when I watched it? He made a move and he had him.
He had him. And he just didn't get it up high enough.
He just kind of threw the puck right into Blessing's glove, and it was like, he had him just hit into the money. He just kind of didn't get it up high enough, like you said.
But then they had to put all 56-something seconds on back on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like we didn't have our chances. Just wasn't meant to be. I almost would have rather had it not happen, because just ask Zoe and my dog. I was jumping and yelling at 11:30 at night.
That sounds like you.
Anyway, Kobe Walker, great tip in, second goal of the year. Hopefully that gets him going again. In a little bit of a goals drought, 2 games, but hey,
you got one.
And then Isabel
again,
second goal of the year. He had another one on Saturday, so most likely Atlantic Hockey Rookie of the Week this year.
He's got a pretty good shot.
Yeah,
that would be back to back. Thank you. I thought Colby looked good. I mean, that third goal was kind of. I definitely. We were talking about it in Discord. I mean, you can't blame Colby on any of those.
No, they're all.
I
weird
thought
ones.
the third one he should have had the third one, but I mean, it was a good shot. What can you do? I think the story of the game was we fell asleep in the final couple minutes of the first, and Air Force capitalized, and that was it. That was the momentum swinger, Will Gavin, who was really good. Had a goal early in the second to go up 3-1, and that was the game winner. Dan's favorite stat of the night was we only had 2 penalties and no majors.
Finally.
Love to see that.
That's the first game since the opener at Union that we have not had a major against us.
That's kind of nice to see, honestly.
Love it. Both teams went 0-2 on the power play. That was pretty much it for Thursday.
Friday now.
Not Friday. Now on to Friday.
Mm-hmm. Big dub.
Unless you guys said anything else on Thursday.
Not really.
No.
I think they just fell asleep in the second and got away from him. I think that's all it was.
Yeah. They actually said it on the broadcast. On the Witter broadcast, not the stupid Altitude.
I hate the name of that broadcast, by the way. It's so
broadcast. Dumb. Learn how to turn your mics off.
I kept coughing into it.
Yeah. Matt Campbell made a good point. RAT was winning all the faceoffs in the start of the game, or losing all the faceoffs at the start of the game, playing better, and then we started winning faceoffs, and then Air Force played better. So I don't know.
Who knows?
What was the final faceoff total in that game too? I was actually curious. I didn't write it down.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
32 to 34 in favor of Air Force. So
wow.
Yeah,
that's close.
Pretty even. I mean, RAT Air Force games are always close in every statistical category.
Unless you say
it's been that way for 15, however many years we've been in Atlantic hockey now.
Both these games are both really good, though. Both these games were really good games.
Really good game on Friday.
It's gonna give the whole rest of the show. I swear to God.
Thank God, this is the only time we have to do this year.
Yeah, but how was the game you went and watched Saturday night?
Not as good as the game I watched on Friday.
All right, let's get back to talking about us and not your Amherst Crunch feud.
Just in case anybody's curious, the Syracuse Crunch goalie did score on himself with 2.9 seconds left in the game to lose.
Down to the ECHL now.
Anyway, Friday, big 4-2 dub, coming home with 3 points. If you can go 500 on the road, perfect.
Take it.
Any other point after 3 is just icing on the cake. I will take a split, especially out at Air Force, any day.
Oh yeah.
Week. Whether it's Thursday or Saturday or Friday. Heck, we've played out there, I believe, on a Tuesday before.
Mm-hmm.
So take it whenever you can get it. Simone Isabel got us going his 3rd of the year. This kid's good.
He's really good.
Tyler Mahan got his 4th goal of the season. That kid's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking our freshman. You know, Wayne always says he loves his freshmen. I'm starting to believe him on this.
Dude, 4 goals in 2 weeks for Tyler Mahan. Like that's impressive.
Silky Wilkie and Tanner Andrew also getting goals. 8 shots on the power play. That was huge.
Mm-hmm.
They were actually getting shots on that. And power special teams is the difference in the game. Air Force went 0 for 4 and had 1 shot.
Yep. Their power play looked
and
awful
gave up
on
3
Friday
to us.
Yeah, and gave up 3 shorthanded shots. So story of the game.
Their power play looked terrible on Friday. Like they looked like an absolute disaster on Friday. Like, I don't know what. Like on Thursday's game, they looked kind of cleaned up. They looked pretty solid. Air Force did, and then Friday they just looked like they'd blown all the gas they had Thursday and had nothing left until like the last 4 or 5 minutes of the third period.
There's another stat on there. It was good to see Spencer Berry was okay. He took a pretty bad hit.
That was
from Willie Rhyme, 5-minute major for boarding. I do want to say shout out to Andrew Petrucci. I think that 10-minute misconduct was totally warranted.
100%. Agreed.
I don't know what he said. I'm sorry. After one of your guys is laying on the ice, the referee's going to call him misconduct on a guy for trying to plead his case that should be a 5 in a game. I'm sorry. If you're going to call it misconduct, you need to check yourself because you're trying to be too involved in the game as an official, and tensions are high in our AT Air Force games every single time. It's a hard-fought game. It's a hard-fought series. I just think that's an official that just.
The only thing I can think of
get in trouble.
He might have had a few choice words for the official.
That's my thing.
At that point, you really don't have a choice.
I know.
Yeah, but you know what though? Him doing that, in my opinion, was totally justified.
Good for him, though. That's why he wears the C.
Exactly.
That's why he wears the C.
He stands up for his guys.
Well, and the other thing is, yes, it takes Petrucci off the ice for 10 minutes. They also didn't give him a minor for unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, it was just time. There was no penalty involved with it.
It was just
a misconduct. It wasn't a manpower penalty.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah. Another fun penalty-filled affair for RAT.
Just want to point out that there's 2 separate power plays for us where the time's not listed properly.
Love to see that. Can I also talk about the fact that the Air Force TV broadcast, they didn't put the power play times up on the scoreboard at all. You had to look at the scoreboard at the actual arena when you could see it to see how much time was left on it.
It's tough when it's a scoreboard feed.
I mean, yeah, but
it's
not
a problem that's unique.
But my problem was when it was 4-on-4, the time was up there. When it wasn't, there was no time period, which I thought was just weird.
Maybe I just didn't notice it. Tommy, 36 saves.
He played a phenomenal game.
I feel like we're just saying the same thing every week.
Pretty much.
With him. Kind of funny, he made 12 saves in each period. For his 36 saves.
That's kind of freaky. That's kind of freaky, dude. I'm not going to lie.
I thought that. I saw
that's
that.
Kind of freaky.
That's kind of funny. My one thing from this entire weekend is Air Force is the best acting team I have ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of diving that those guys do. You would think they were in the Navy.
Jesus, Nate.
Oh my God! Like,
Oh my God.
these guys, they're on they're playing the wrong sport. These guys, they were diving all
Listen,
over the
man,
place. And the referees,
Those
weren't
dudes should
calling
be given
embellishment.
Oscars for what they did. Those performances.
Didn't we get an embellishment penalty?
Maybe.
We got what should have been an embellishment. Wow, I skipped like 3 syllables. We should have had an embellishment penalty. It's listed as a diving penalty, and there is a difference.
I hate embellishment.
Stupid anyway.
You
Whatever.
hated it more in the CHA semifinal last year.
Oh, that was bad.
Oh, don't even get me started. Isn't that the penalty that led to the game winner?
Yep. Before we get Nate on
I
her
don't think
rant,
no, because the game winner was even strength.
Oh, that's right.
I thought the game Friday, we owned it the whole way through. I think we started slipping a bit with like 4 minutes left, but I think that's only because they pulled Blessing and it was a 6-on-4 at one point while they were on a power play.
Because we took a penalty late.
Let's also point out, they were 6-on-4 on us with an empty net, and they still didn't score on that power play. Oh, no, they did.
Well, yeah, JJ.
No, they did. They
our
did.
Our
They did.
penalty kills elite.
Well, I'm aware of that. I'm just saying, let's see how good it was. No, they might have scored on that power play, actually. Or did
It's
they
not
not?
listed. It's not listed as a power play goal.
Oh, maybe not then. Okay,
Yeah,
that's even better.
Because they went 0 for 4.
So that must not. I, for some reason, just thought for a second they did, but I guess not. I mean, penalty kill is still, I think, our strongest point. I mean, we have goal scorers all across the board, but if you can cause an opposing team to go 0 for 4, 0 for 5, 0 for 6 on a penalty kill, or on their own power play, that's really good. Like, you like seeing that.
We're 8th, taking out the teams that haven't really played yet
Ivy League, excuse me.
at the Ivy League. We are 8th in the country in penalty kill at 88.9%.
That's fantastic.
The Ivies and Stonehill.
That is a fantastic save percentage.
No, Air Force did score a power play goal. It's just the stats are. NLS has
Was
got
it
a
a power
problem
play
this year.
I thought
'cause
it was.
Wilkie was whistled for a hold with
2 seconds left.
I don't even have that on my
158.
sheet.
Yeah, 158.
And then Air Force scored with less than a minute left in the second.
Yep, and then
So-
they.
Oh, it's in the second. Oh,
I
yeah,
kind
there
of got
it is.
jumpy because not jumpy for a bad reason because I'm like, okay, there's only a minute. There's about a minute left in this game, like under 2 minutes. This is going to be in the bag. We're up by 3. They got to score 3 in less than 2 minutes. That's going to be tough, even if you say 6-on-4. Even if you score on the power play, we're going to get a man back. And I
Oh,
sat
yeah,
there.
because Petrucci was still in the box. It was right after the Barry
Yeah.
hit.
And I was kind of losing it because we kind of lost track as the puck comes towards the wall nearest where the camera is, and you just see Kobe fighting for it, and I'm like, dude, break out of there and just book it right at their net and score. Just take off. And I think they must have realized that something like that was going to happen because I thought, from what I recall, I watched one of their guys peel off and Blessing started coming back onto the ice when Kobe started like making his way down rink, and I'm like, oh, they already know he's going to go flying down there if he gets out. So it seemed like they were trying to play a little bit defensively at that point, but that was a great game all around for us, and I think we outplayed the life out of them in that second game. We outplayed them in the first and third period of the first game.
I agree.
And again,
Overall,
for
a good
top.
weekend. And hey, still sitting pretty.
we're not lonely anymore. We do have a friend up there
Still
with us.
sitting
but
pretty,
we're still
number one.
Still
So,
sitting
hey,
pretty.
That's
So
all that matters.
let's look at
Like
next
I said,
weekend.
you can come out of a road trip with 3 points.
Yeah.
You had a good trip. So
All right, let's look at next weekend, Friday, Saturday. We got
back home.
Back home. Two more
Just Saturday
non-conference.
for JJ.
Unfortunately, yes, I have a other commitment.
Prior engagement.
Yes,
That's okay.
That's all right. I will be.
It's okay.
Wait, where is the
I
no
respect you.
excuses talk with JJ?
Hey, this is something totally different. It's out there. It was something planned well in advance. But
to be fair, I'm missing a couple games for prior engagements this year.
But I will be following
I'm
on
not
my
happy about
phone
it.
on Discord the entire time. So let's just be aware of that. I will be with you all in spirit.
In spirit.
At least you'll be there for the games that I'll be downstairs.
Exactly.
Can we get
Dan,
a
that's the
JJ
point.
cutout?
No.
Can we get a big head of JJ and just put you on the glass?
Okay, actually, yes. Can we get that? Aaron, get on it because I know you're listening to this and you can definitely make one.
Yeah, Holy Loss coming to town.
Dang, I still love calling them that.
This
Are
is
they
one of
not?
the games where we have a lot of fun with the whiteboards when we play Holy Cross. So
such good whiteboards.
They're having a rough start to the year, and honestly, though, I've heard they haven't played. I haven't watched really any of it.
I haven't either.
I've heard they, other than the North Dakota weekend, they played Sacred Heart at home, and they, from what I heard, they didn't play bad. Just Sacred Heart was better.
Yeah.
And their only win of the year was at AIC last Tuesday. And oh my god,
that game was
so anybody who
something
had
else.
that
7-3.
start for Holy Cross on their board,
else.
please come forward to claim your prize.
Yeah, that game was. I saw the score of that and was like, "Excuse me, do my eyes deceive me here? Does that happen?
The notifications were coming across my phone. I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
They chose violence that game.
I made sure I read that right.
Literally a low-scoring football game.
Yeah,
Seriously,
they went 2 for 2 on the power play too. So guys, stay out of the box.
Yeah, that's not looking
please
great.
Especially no fives.
Yes, good God.
Oh, fun stat. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
RIT is second in the country in penalties per game.
Love
at
to see
7.
Love it. Love
BU
it.
is at 7.18. Thanks for coming out. But having fun, lonely at the top. Penalty minutes per game, 21.33.
Oh my God.
Lindenwood is right behind us at 20.29. I saw that earlier.
Dang,
that was a great stat.
I was kind of hoping there was going to be some like massive like 5-point gap in between us and like second place. I kind of would have loved that a little bit more.
Well, there probably was, but we only took 2 penalties on Thursday.
That's
so
true.
It's coming down.
We would have had even more.
How high on the list are any of our players individually?
Wilkie's got to be up there.
Wilkie's got to be up
He's
there.
a ton.
I love Carter. Evan Miller, third in the country, 4.25 per game.
So it's 2 penalties a game.
Is the AIC guy
Wilkie's
somehow...
actually in third on the team at 33rd in the country with 2.83. He's tied for 30th with 5 guys. 4 of them are from Atlantic hockey.
That's hilarious.
So
if anything, Atlantic is just a league full of guys that like spending time in the box.
Logan Cooley from Minnesota,
No.
Matt Kellenberger, Hunter McDonald from Northeastern, Carter Wilkie, and Tucker Hodgson from Bentley.
Oh, love that. Anyways,
yeah.
these 2 games this weekend are going to be good.
Should be fun.
They're both conference games. Holy Loss is looking We don't really know if they're good or if they're bad because
they're 1-5.
Yeah, but their one win is against AIC, so either AIC is really bad or they're just really good. 2
of those losses were to North Dakota.
Yeah, they were going to lose those games.
So let's be honest. Take those games out. They're 1-3. They lost 2 games to Sacred Heart.
Yep.
And they lost on Saturday to Vermont 6-0. So
it's rough.
It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, all of their goalies have played this year.
How many they have? What, 3? 4?
They have 3.
Okay.
At least that's how many they have listed. We did see all 3 goalies last year, though, the 2 games of GPC. We swept them last year at home. Saturday was a rough night for the Crusaders.
Mm-hmm.
Rough start. I mean, the game was only 4-3 final, but we were
down. We were down.
No. We were up 3-0 a minute and a half into the game.
Oh,
I
that's
was gonna
right.
say that was the
'Cause
bullet
Nick-
start.
That
I
was the
remember
game
Bruce.
that was the game I missed because
when
I was at my
Bruce
little
had to.
cousin's first birthday party, and everybody was
Oh, so it sounds like JJ should just stop coming to games.
everybody
or
was
he should show up late.
everybody was jokingly telling me that everyone was jokingly texting me going like, if we win this game, you can never come back. And then they scored 3 goals in like the first 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna destroy in this game. I'm not even gonna be there. I was out in Brockport, and I'm like, good god. Which, first of all, Brockport. But I was I was just like, oh my god, this is just brutal. And then I kept seeing that they're coming back, they're scoring again, and I'm like, can we go back to that like first 5 minutes of the first period vibe and just score 5 more and end this right now and be done? But we still won the game, thank God.
Is that the game Walker scored the shorty?
I think it is.
That sounds about right.
It
It
might have
sounds
been.
familiar. He had a short-handed breakaway and
Yes,
just
it was.
absolutely buried it
Yeah, it was.
for the game for at what would turn out to be the game winner. Yep.
Yep.
Short-handed in the second. Yep.
So let's do our predictions for this weekend, and then we'll go to news around the league, and then we'll wrap it up. I'll have Dan start.
Nate, can I borrow the broom?
Oh, bring out the broom.
Dan, keep talking.
The blue broom.
I've got a sweep. I hope it's not quite so close as the game we were just talking about, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it.
Nate.
I'm gonna agree with you here. I got it right here actually. I actually need to sweep my floor. I just need to remember to put it back over here.
There you go.
I'm going sweep. I don't think it's close. Yeah. Sweep. 6 points.
I'm also saying
See you
sweep.
later.
I'm thinking.
Thanks for coming.
I'm thinking sweep. Also, I think we're gonna blow them out both games. I don't think it'll. I think part of me wants to say one of the games is gonna be a shutty for whoever goes in. I could see either Colby or Tommy going in and having a shutout. I think they're both that good. I don't think. I really.
I think they'll both play.
I honestly kind of feel like.
Probably.
I honestly kind of feel like the 7-2 against AIC was just a random fluke. I think AIC just had an off night and Holy Cross capitalized.
Or
don't-
AIC is really bad.
I mean, they did. Okay, so if we're gonna go,
I
off
would
that,
I would welcome that with open arms.
I mean, listen,
by
if
the way.
AIC is really bad, that means Niagara is just like in the toilet because they got swept by them. And then Omaha's even worse.
and Omaha's even
Omaha finishing in how many D1 teams do we have now? 63. They're finishing in 63rd in the pairwise.
Oh my god! Can this just? We're gonna.
What's
make
their
this,
record since getting swept by Niagara?
We are gonna
I
make-
need to know.
We're gonna make this the running gag now. For basically, whoever beats Niagara will determine how bad Omaha is in our eyes the rest of the year.
See, it's funny because Omaha beat Mankato 7-2 first game of the year.
My god!
And-
How do you
and
get
then got swept by
Niagara?
Niagara's better than Mankato.
Okay, we're not gonna go off
Mankato's-
of that one.
Mankato's like 3rd in the country. What is going on this year?
The same thing is happening
Are
in the
you
NFL.
kidding
Nothing
me?
makes sense anymore. Everything weird is happening.
So they took 3 out of 4 against Lake State. Oh, I guess that's not a conference game. So they beat and tied Lake State on the road, and they just split with Alaska. So Omaha, all right.
We're keeping
Maybe
watching.
Niagara isn't as
Don't you dare say it. They're trash. That's fine. Don't.
It's
do
too
it.
early to tell. It's too early to tell.
That's fair.
Um,
So we're all saying sweep for Holy Cross or Holy Loss. Excuse me. I forgot to say their actual name.
say it right.
So we'll go to Dan for news around Atlantic, and then we will wrap it up.
League week started early last week, like we mentioned. Holy Cross beat American AIC. I don't know why I was going to say their full name.
The American
7.
International College Yellow Jackets men's Division I ice hockey team.
Thank you for 5 seconds of my life I'll never get back. By a score of a touchdown to a field goal, I mean 7-3. Um, Canisius had their home opener on Tuesday as well,
It's just a stupid day for a home opener. My God.
beating RPI 3-2.
Shout out the C Block for having 8 people in attendance.
Do I
Sorry.
make another swim meet joke?
You want to know what's funny?
We're watching table tennis this time.
You want to know what's funny? There was
What?
nothing else going on at Canisius that night.
That's the best. Listen,
And they have free transportation to Harbor
Can I
Center.
say, speaking of the C Block, before Dan continues, I wanted to roast them so hard on Instagram when they posted their, look, we got our 500 follower on their story, and I texted Nate and go, please let me go 500. That's cute. And we were at
No.
like 985.
No.
Come on, it would have been great. Listen, Wendy's Twitter. That's what we are.
But quick actual shout out to C Block. They had their Pink the Rink game on Friday,
Yes.
and they did raise a good amount of money.
That's
They had a
always
good
good to
amount of
see.
people there, so
Love that.
good for them. We have something in the works for the December 3rd game at Canisius with them. So
We
stay
have all
tuned.
sorts of things in the works for December 3rd.
We just keep teasing everybody.
So that actually stay tuned on the Instagram for that one.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not going, because
You'll see it.
it'll be fun.
Also, sorry, Dan, you can continue.
Nate's favorite school in Ohio beat Bentley 9-2 on Thursday.
The Ohio State.
I'm not even like mad that we're not winning non-conference games anymore. I'm just accepting it.
Yeah.
On Friday, New Hampshire beat Army 3-1. Miami of Ohio beat Canisius 5-3.
Good.
Ohio State only won by 2, 3-1 over Bentley to finish the sweep. Mercyhurst beat Clarkson in overtime
Good.
up in Potsdam.
If there is a non-conference team I cannot stand, it's Clarkson.
Rip Kate.
I- Could be worse. She could be a Leafs fan. Oh, wait.
Oh, yikes.
Hey,
You gotta get in the Discord to understand these jokes, people.
Blow, Leafs, blow. Continue.
Continue, yes,
and
please. We're running out of time.
and in a conference game, Niagara beat Sacred Heart 6-4.
Disgusting.
Thanks for showing up, Sacred Fart. Come on.
Sacred Shark.
On Saturday, Miami of Ohio completed
Good
the sweep
whiteboard.
over Canisius, shutting them out 2-0.
Good.
Sacred Heart earned the split against Niagara 5-1.
Thank God.
Good.
Holy Cross got blown out by Vermont 6-0. AIC blew out Lindenwood 5-0. And Clarkson went on a revenge tour 5-1 over Mercyhurst. And then today, as we're recording this Sunday night, Army played an exhibition game down at West Point.
Against a bunch of teenagers.
Yep.
Lost in overtime to the U.S. National Development
Can we also
Team.
bring up the point that one of the guys from Army scored 4 goals and they still lost?
And it doesn't even count.
4 goals.
That sucks. Kid had the game of his life and it doesn't even count.
Oh, it's so
And
good.
AIC completed the sweep of Lindenwood 5-3. They gave up 3 goals.
Wow.
Next week, first games of the week aren't till Friday. It's a little more normal.
Mm-hmm.
Mercyhurst heads to Niagara. Canisius heads to Sacred Heart. AIC heads to Army. Lindenwood gets to visit Bentley.
Did they even go home?
Lindenwood? No. Probably not.
Yeah, like what's the point of flying back to St. Louis just to fly back to
They're
Massachusetts?
probably just staying in Massachusetts then.
Skipping class.
Which we don't do here.
No, never.
Of course, we play Holy Cross at home Friday. Air Force has their classic rivalry with Colorado College. That game will be at Colorado College on Friday. And they'll finish up that home and home Saturday at Air Force. Canisius finishes their series with Sacred Heart. Lindenwood with Bentley. Niagara heads down to Mercyhurst to complete that home and home Saturday. And Sunday of next week, Dartmouth heads to West Point to face Army.
What the heck? That's so weird.
A lot of conference points on the line this weekend.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we got to get as many as we can.
A 6-point sweep would be nice and would give us a nice cushy lead.
Just
Yeah,
stop
wait a
messaging in the
second.
Discord while we're recording.
I'm not saying anything. What are you talking about?
Wait a second. Why does AIC play Army for one game Friday and then Army plays
It's Atlantic hockey. We don't ask. We don't ask.
We don't ask questions
anymore.
because it hurts their brain trying to explain it.
No, we don't ask questions because trying to figure it out.
It
just
makes
doesn't
our brain
make
smooth
sense.
when we try to figure that crap out.
Just remember Saturday game this week. Saturday game, early game, 4:30, I believe.
I think
Four?
it's 4. It's 4.
Okay, yeah, it's 4. It's not 4:30. Show up at 3, not 4.
Agreed.
So show up at 3, then stay for the women.
Or if you show up at 2 o'clock and beat Dan Scully to the arena.
Well, you're gonna beat me on Saturday anyway because my
Because he has to work volleyball.
Oh
no, I don't.
Oh, thank God.
Volleyball's over now, isn't it?
No, we host a Liberty League tournament game I think November 1st,
Oh, okay.
which I didn't know about until Saturday, and neither did Tim.
Also,
But-
quick shout out to Aaron. Anybody knows my dad has a mask. He made me one
That Nate
for
will,
my
that
birthday back in August. Kind of sweet.
that Nate will literally never wear again.
The best feature.
Balloon Richie.
Balloon Richie. So shout out to Aaron for this. It's pretty sweet.
Also, JJ, you're a season ticket holder. I'm no longer a season ticket holder.
Ha!
You will beat me in Saturday because you will be allowed in the building before I will.
Sucks to suck, Dan.
You're not
That's
just
all,
going to flex your all access pass?
all I hear is excuses.
Not when it's only good for me and not the two friends I'm bringing with me.
Oh,
Nate.
that's a good point.
All right.
That being said, let's wrap it up because now we're getting way off topic. This has been a
typical.
yeah, right. This has been a very fun new episode of the Hey Corner Crew podcast. If you have not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell notifications so you are notified whenever new episodes go live. If you're not on Spotify yet, get on there. There are episodes on there
No.
too. Whatever. You and Apple podcasts.
We're working on that still.
Spotify has notifications. You can get pinged for that when that happens. Also, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, those are all still things. Join the Discord if you want to know what all these weird inside jokes about people being from Clarkson and liking the Leafs are. Get in there because you'll find out probably within the next 24 hours if that's the case. The Discord is so much fun. Everyone going back and forth. It's a great time. That being said,
It's mainly just chirps. So
yeah, it's hilarious.
it's a fun time.
That being said, that's going to do it for this week's episode. We will see everybody next week. Have a great night, everyone. Go Tigers.
Roll Tide.